Okay, we are live, everybody. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Teresa.
And we are here from Wonder Looper to bring to you another Wonder Looper live stream here, broadcasting live from the internet from Yokohama, Japan, where wonderful things happen.
Wonderful.
I'm working on catchphrases.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work these out together. We're gonna get there. So everybody, let us know where you are tuning in from, and we'll see how far this live stream can reach out into the global sphere, known as Earth, and perhaps
beyond.
Lisa's got a little bit of a cough today.
Yes.
So please bear with us. Send Risa your healing vibes, and I'm sure they're going to reach us nicely. I can see a little hearts and stuff flying in the chat. Let's see where everybody is tuning in from. We've got Solvents. Hello from Scotland. Love tuning in on a Friday night for you guys. Well, thank you very much. It's great to see you. BD, the producer, is in the house. Happy Wonder Looper Day here in the double heavyweight tee and some nice Elephant 12s from Naked and Famous. Now that's a heavy duty outfit right there for a heavy duty tough guy like yourself and representing Canada, where it's getting pretty cold.
I'm sure.
It's getting pretty cold. It was cold here for a bit, and then we had a couple of warmish days. I don't know. The weather here in Japan is.
Yeah, they haven't decided
if it's gonna leave, if it's gonna end summer, or I don't know. Anyways, it's a day by day thing. Today is gray and gloomy. Yesterday was gray, then sunny, and anyhow, the weather is always a fun topic, I'm sure. Milo, 17. Good evening from southwestern Ontario, Canada, where the double heavyweight charcoal to school today because it was 8 degrees this morning. There you go. That's a cold day.
That is a cold day.
So
it's like real winter here.
That's Japanese winter. Yeah. So excited to get the white Pima and black since the first release. Yes, we're going to be talking about some restocks, including the ultimate Pima in black and white very soon. Let's look forward to that in today's live stream. Stephen Coblcam, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, checking in. I know it gets cold out there as well. Christian B, so nervous for the live stream. I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Maybe you can take up knitting.
No, you put them in the kangaroo pocket.
And then what?
That's it.
That's it?
Maybe you see, I got a cleaning cloth in there. Cleans your lenses. Devin Hurt, hello from Detroit, Canada's neighbor. Heaviest waffle knits in the 5-year plan?
Heaviest? I don't know. We talked about this. So we're going to talk about what we talked about like the other day.
We're going to talk about waffle knits because this week Reese and I were planning the waffle knits. The waffle knits are on the way.
Well, we'll be on the way. It's just now a concept.
They'll be here.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen. Arif, good to see you, my friend. Hello from Chicago, representing Chi-Town, the Windy City, home of Al Bundy and Michael Jordan.
And Jackson.
No, that's Gary, Indiana.
It's still the same city. Same state.
No.
Oh. Illinois.
Yeah. Similar. I'm just gonna go with similar.
I don't even know where Indiana is.
I couldn't point to it on a map if I tried.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in America somewhere, which is in North America, on Earth.
Yes, I can point to America.
I can point to America on a map. I know where that is. Milo, hopefully there will be some double ecru in medium available when the white Pima gets restocked, so I can scoop both at once. So the double heavyweight ecru t-shirts. Those are starting to sell through.
Yeah, I sold out of.
There's some sizes that are gone at this point.
Large.
Yeah, but if it's not available on our website on wonderlooper.com, be sure to check cultizm.com. So that was a co-release. We made those specially for Cultizm for their 20th anniversary. We've got Dusty Rad Title. Good to see you. Howdy from St. Paul, Minnesota, USA. America's in the house yet again. Shank Style representing Australia. I started wearing my old Naked and Famous vintage double face slim crew, and it feels really amazing. Tsuriami knit, bouncy and textured. That's right. Great sweatshirt. Colin Cronenberg, hi from Fort Worth, Texas, wearing my Foxfibre Ultimate tee and Firebird Weird Guys.
Foxfibre Ultimate tee?
Well, the Foxfibre t-shirt is also made with a blend of Ultimate Pima. Or it is just the Ultimate t-shirt. Both true. And the Fox and the Fire. Fox and the Fire. That's a good combo. Flamey denim and warm toned t-shirts. I love it. Arif says, oh wow, sorry, I just scrolled down the chat. I didn't realize how busy it's gotten.
Wow.
It's gotten quite busy. Arif, just to say, picked up a double heavyweight in the crew. Super cool color. I'm a big fan of that color. Risa is currently wearing the Sumi Black. So this is the Sumi Black in the long sleeve tee, which is going to launch very soon. Melody Murray, good to see you from Tucson. Gary Bishop Yo-Yo Gray from New York City. Hey guys. Well, hey to you too. Invis Ian's DC is in the house. We got Broom in from Brooklyn. Chris Dodson, Tyler, Texas. Jan S from Pennsylvania. Struggle Studios from Maryland. Gary Bishop sending Risa some well wishes with a feel better for that little cough you've got there. Yeah. We've got Plus Jan from Sweden. We've got Alexander. Cheers from Bulgaria. Unbelievable. All over the world. Guys, this John, evening from Washington, D.C., loving my Foxfibre jeans, waiting for the overshirt and hoodie. They're coming soon, my friend. Anna Brown, hail adventurers, tuning in from Cleveland, Ohio. Just received my Super Looper zip hoodie in red. Very happy, but a bit surprised with the side zipper zip-ups. But other than that, very excited. With the side zipper zip-ups? I'm not sure what you mean. With a bit... I'm not with the side. Very happy, but a bit surprised with the side. The zipper zips up. Oh, with the side, the zipper zips up. Are you surprised?
I don't get it. I still don't get it.
Well,
anyways.
Anyhow.
Maybe you can clarify.
Yeah.
We can...
we can get to that. Sunil, Hong Kong is here super early for a Saturday. Well, thanks for joining in from Hong Kong. And we've got Mando from Vegas, Jan from Canton. Everybody, it's a Wonder Looper day with all these wonderful people. Nicholas Vilpu, ahoy from Chigasaki, loving the gloomy weather. It is gloomy weather here in Japan. You guys... Thank you so much for joining us here. If I missed you, which I hope I didn't, I think I got everybody. But if I missed you, I kissed you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And another live stream. So we've got a couple of things to talk about. Yeah. I just want to pull up, we're going to talk about release schedule for a moment, just because we have a couple of things planned out. And I sent out an email, but there's a lot of information to digest, so let's digest it all together. Starting with the double heavyweight t-shirts in long sleeve. So that's what Risa's wearing right now. It's the same double heavyweight t-shirt you know and love, but now with longer sleeves for the fall winter to keep you even comfy. I don't know, even comfier, but at least even cozier and cooler, warmer, not cooler, warmer than ever before. Starting with the Sumi Black and Ecru colors. So the two colors that we launched for, I think it's 2 weeks ago now, in the t-shirts in collaboration with Cultizm.
It might be a week
ago. Might be a week ago.
I don't know.
Time flies very fast, my friends. It could have been a week ago. Unbelievable. I have no concept of time anymore. So we just launched those. Those have been selling well, but I mentioned as we were launching those that there was a long sleeve version coming, and this is it. We're going to get some, better social media photos and product photos up on the website very soon. So you're going to be able to look forward to that. But yeah, it's going to come in the 2 new colors. And then next fall, if you're looking for some of the original colors that you know and love already.
Like a spring.
Is it?
This
spring.
25, which will be like early next year.
Yeah.
We should have a long sleeve in white, black, and heather gray.
Right. So white, black, heather gray. We're going to start off with the Sumi black and Ecru, so the new colors, and then the classic colors come in the new year.
Right.
This is why I have to write everything down.
It
gets confusing.
Yeah.
It's still,
but so it's going to be only available from wonderlooper.com as well as Cultizm. This is part of the celebration of 20th year of Cultizm, which is very impressive.
Incredible.
Yeah. So, we made this special colorways for them, and now it's
Professionally, I've been working with Cultizm probably for 14 or so years.
I first learned about them when I started working in denim for the first time, which is 13 years ago. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've had a great friendship with them for a very, very long time. Very nice and wonderful people, and even as corporations corporations. It's not a mega corporation, but as companies go, buyers come, buyers go, but. We've remained friends with so many people who've worked there, and there've always been so many of the kindest people, and it's rare. Sometimes you work with a company for a long time, and you get to know a buyer, but it's just a professional relationship. But I think our relationship with Cultizm has certainly far beyond that. Very, very, very nice people, and we're happy to. Work with them, support them, and make this a very special launch and collaboration item. So we look forward to more down the line. You guys have been not only supporting wonderlooper.com but also supporting Cultizm, making their success a great success. And when they see success, they come back and make some requests for new things, crazy things, maybe not the craziest things with this stuff, but we certainly did launch the long sleeve with them.
Yeah, and, just to add to the success of Cultizm, they are opening, or they have opened. They're opening this weekend.
October 4th.
Oh,
so yesterday must have been the day. Let's check that out.
They opened a physical store. They've always been an online store based in Germany. They literally just opened their physical store.
That's it. So October the 4th. So that was yesterday in Münster. And
cute little city. Yeah. So if you're around that area, maybe you want to stop by.
Please give them a visit. And I guess they've got some contests going on in the store as well. So please, if you are in the Germanic area, go to Münster. It's a nice place. And say hi to the good people at Cultizm. And this segment of the Wonder Looper live stream has been brought to you by us.
Yeah.
Just us.
Just us.
So anyhow, there you go. So that, I think that is coming out October 11th. Double heavyweight, long sleeve tees.
Yes, back to the
main point.
Reschedule.
So that's coming out this coming Friday. You'll get them on our website and on the Cultizm website. And then on the following Friday, October the 18th, we've got a lot of stuff coming. I think this is going to be our biggest release day of the year. We're going to be launching the most products on this single day. So we are restocking fleeced Foxfibre in 3 colors. So oatmeal, heather gray, and charcoal. And that's going to be coming in the crew neck, the pullover hoodie, the zip hoodie, and the sweatpants. In addition, we've got the Foxfibre Tsuriami t-shirts. Those are being fully restocked. So if you missed out last time or you're looking to get another one, you're going to be able to get one because those have been sold out across the board. Every one of our retailers fully sold out.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with the fleeced Foxfibre from like last year when that was the second restock we did of that. Flew off the shelves everywhere. So we've got those, and we've got the double heavyweight Foxfibre French Terry 825 GSMs, super duper heavyweight sweatshirt in Fox 80. So a very deep concentration of Foxfibre. 825 GSMs, super heavy, beautiful color. That's going to be coming out in the pullover crew neck, the pullover hoodie, zip hoodie, and sweatpants. And then on top of that, we've got a micro restock of the Ultimate Pima Tsuriami t-shirts. Now,
we're only going to have white restocked on our website.
Yes.
This is a very, very small, emergency production, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're shipping to our wholesale partners, retail partners. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which one's correct? But our retail the stores that whatever they booked in advance. So they will all get some of them will get black as well. So we're not going to have black restocks, just so you guys know. Only small amount of white. If you are looking for black, or if you couldn't get the white on our website, you can go check out our retail partners website as well.
Yeah, we can help locate a black for you if you need. But I will make a post. It'll be in the email with who's getting what.
Okay.
So make sure you are subscribed to the Wonder Looper newsletter. Be sure to do that. Don't not be subscribed to that because a lot of information comes out in those emails. Of course, a lot of information comes out here as well, but it's in a drawn-out live stream.
Yeah,
and
it's very difficult to find information.
Right. So we try to put it out in as many ways as possible. So that is going to be a big release day.
Yeah. Just in terms of to give you an idea of how much stuff we're getting, we are the Fox Tsuriami t-shirts. We're getting a lot of units. So, I would still recommend. I don't, last time was just insane surprise. So we don't know the actual demands, but they would, I think we have enough to.
If you're there on release day,
I think so.
You should be fine. I don't know if they're going to last till Christmas.
I don't know.
Right. I don't know. You guys are always surprising us.
Yes.
So whatever I think we need, you surpass my expectations. And also just keep in mind, what I know today is not what I knew practically a year ago when we were booking everything for right now. So,
a year ago, but
things are gonna get. The balance of inventory will start to meet expectations. Right. I would say sooner than later, but not super fast.
Right,
and it takes the time to produce everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because we have had experience with Fleeced Foxfibre, I think we prepared ourselves in terms of demand. So we do have, I think enough, not too much that we get stuck with inventory, but enough to go around for Fleeced Foxfibre as well. Double heavyweight Foxfibre, on the other hand, we weren't sure. It is the first time we were releasing it. The price point is very, very high due to the high cost of cotton that we use and the amount of the cotton that gets put into that one single hoodie, for instance. So, I would say we were a little conservative on that number.
Yeah.
So if you would like, if you like to buy it, be there on the release day. Yeah.
And then, but also considering October 18th, basically it's like Foxfibre Day for us. We've got Foxfibre at different price points. So you got t-shirt price point, fleece Foxfibre price point, and then double heavyweight French terry Foxfibre price point. So there's, if you want to get into the Foxfibre world, there's kind of something for everybody there. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I think many of you will and are looking forward to it. Based on like the amount of emails and stuff that we're getting, I think it's going to be a big day for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then double heavyweight French terry in colors. They would follow, but at this time we wouldn't have any still. So just the other old Foxfibre related products are going to be available on the 18th, and the double heavyweight colors will probably be a couple weeks behind it, a few weeks behind. Maybe.
Yeah, so like a November release for the classic double heavyweight colors. Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that one. Beak writes, what's the tentative release date for the quadruple heavyweight t-shirt? I'm just gonna. I don't think quadruple heavyweight T is gonna come.
I don't think so. I mean, triple heavyweight is just.
It's a beast.
So much.
It's a monster. If you're not satisfied with that, sir, there's no satisfying you. There's no satisfying you. But that is a monster. Okay. Mr. Green writes, can you describe Foxfibre versus Pima?
Okay, so this is a question that we have gotten in the past. Just to make it very, very clear, Pima cotton and Ultimate Pima cotton, different cotton. Very different cotton. Ultimate Pima cotton that we use for our Ultimate Pima Tsuriami t-shirt is a single origin. It's only grown for a production scale in one farm in America, New Mexico. The same farm that grows Foxfibre. It's grown organically, fully in the United States, organic standards. Very, very
American organic standards.
Yeah,
which is also very important because
very strict. It's serious organic. It is an extra long staple fiber cotton. Pima cotton, I think, everybody knows it's a very widely grown, popular cotton, and it's not a bad cotton at all. But Ultimate Pima is a family of that genetically, but it is extremely extra long staple.
Yeah, it's the most long staple of that variety. Pima cotton is American grown Pima cotton. American grown long staple cotton. Pima cotton can be grown anywhere. Pima comes from America. Ultimate Pima also only comes from America, but this particular variety is only grown at one place.
Yeah. It's kind of confusing because I think some people think that Ultimate Pima cotton, Pima Tsuriami t-shirts, we named it the Ultimate just as an adjective, but it's part of the cotton.
Part of the cotton variety name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is that. Foxfibre is it has roots in Pima cotton in terms of its genetic blend, but it is unique on its own in the sense that Pima cotton is a white cotton. Foxfibre is a naturally colored cotton. Part of its genetic roots come from South America, where natural colored cottons grow or have grown for millennia in nature. But the difference is with Foxfibre that this is a variety that has been selectively breeded over time to go from kind of like an unusable tiny little bowl cotton that you couldn't really use for anything.
Very, very short staple.
To what it is now, something that is actually usable.
Spinnable.
Spinnable.
And that's the important distinction. Like, sometimes you see, like, I see it over here all the time, like at flower stores or, dry flower store, like they have the brown puffed cotton that looks very nice and pleasant to the eyes. Those kinds are not grown for
cotton production
to become fabrics. They're fine as a cotton. They look nice, but it's not spinnable. You have to meet a certain standards in order to be spun into yarns and wear it as clothes.
Yeah. So Foxfibre is also it's not just one color, many different colors. There's variety differences even within the Foxfibre world, but the most important thing about it is that it is a naturally colored, organically grown cotton with a fiber length long enough for spinning, and all of those things combined doesn't happen anywhere else. That's only in America, only on the Alvarez farms where this is grown. So those are the differences. If you have any questions beyond that, let us know.
Speaking of, is there Foxfibre blue?
No. That's kind of funny. Like Sally, she told us how back in the days, Levi's, she introduced this cotton to them in maybe the late 80s, and they had made some jeans back then using this cotton, and I guess the idea of colored cottons kind of came into their head, and they're like, oh, maybe we can make all the different colors of the rainbow.
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. But there is no fox blue. There is...
not yet, at least.
Yeah.
It might be... Blue is... it's rare in flowers even. Yeah. So it's probably a rare...
Yeah, even rare.
More difficult.
You can see what... If you follow Sally on Instagram... you can see what she's done, because she talks a lot about the breeding of this cotton over time, and how she brings out the colors from these varieties. And so they'll have like a patch where they're growing a bunch of this cotton, and some of her colleagues will inspect the field, and they'll look at these plants, and maybe one plant might exhibit certain characteristics over other plants, and that's the plant that they're like, okay, we're going to use that to crossbreed with another thing, and to see if we can pull out those details. Maybe it has an extra bright orange tone, and then you mix it with maybe a seed variety that has got a particularly good length, and then you try to crossbreed it that way. And so this is something that they've been doing since the 80s.
It takes a long time to even see like one generation create a next generation. And I would imagine it's not always how you imagine it to be. Just because you mix this and that, it becomes this. It might be a surprise.
Right. So they've been doing this for so long. And this is all done in the classical manner. There's no genetic, they're not, injecting the DNA of another,
blue plant
in it. This is all done through nature, as I'm not. I don't know all the terminology here, but we are learning a lot more about this. This is even in all of our years of fabric and textile development, like you don't dig so deep into farming. Right? Okay, you hear about varieties here and there, but actually getting into the nitty-gritty of how those varieties come to be, and how sometimes those varieties come to be like the dominant version. I hear a lot of people, Giza 45. I'm like, do you know what that even 45 number represents? Right? And the answer to that is it's the variety type. There has been up to Giza 45, there was a Giza 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. So those were different varieties of Giza cotton. And so...
And they talk about, it's just kind of like historic figures, for instance. Like, we know about certain generations because they like, maybe exhibited like a very special traits that other generation didn't. So like, we were like learning about cotton and, looking at the archives, like, presentation of like past, like old cotton, and then, kids at 25 or 27 or whatever, like that stands out. Like they made a mark in the history, whereas like what happened to kids at 30, nobody knows. Like it's interesting in that sense.
So,
but just to clarify, like what Sally is doing with Foxfibre is, yes, she is, like it's not all accident. It's not all like done by nature. She put hands in that. She puts her, knowledge and experience, and she helps create these things. But it's not something that it cannot happen in nature, right? Like there's a big difference between, some genetically engineering something, in a lab versus like, what she's doing is on the field. Like she brings those things and then, literally physically crossbreed and then wait till that, becomes the next generation. So it is very different in that sense.
It's a very slow process, but it has produced some of the most amazing cotton fibers in the world today. One thing that, we when we talked to Sally, she kind of introduced us to the idea that, the reason why you get the kinds of cotton that she makes, or like even an ultimate Pima and things like that, these super specialized high-end varieties, is because of the work of, it's kind of like they're the independent growers, right? The big, like, the big cotton, they want to sell a lot of cotton to a lot of people, right? And so they genetically engineer, and this is how it works. I mean, they genetically engineer cotton. That is, I mean, it's great. It's good cotton, right? Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad quality cotton, but it's a cotton that they need to grow in mega abundance and under certain conditions, and that they can just pump out to the world. And so unless it's something that you can just pump out to the world at cheap, they're not interested in it, because their interest is, well, pumping out cotton. Her interest is in breeding this variety of cotton that she has brought to the world. That is like, it's like, even I would say one thing that I think Sally's cotton is grown in America, but there is a Japanese company that practically buys all of it. And I think that melding really works well together, because you have this person in Sally Fox who's just the obsessed type to create this product. And Japan is so good at obsessing over certain things. So this melding of the two worlds really, really works together. And unless you have people like this to create these varieties, you're not going to get these specialty varieties. You're just not going to get them. Yeah. Because there's no, in the grand scheme of things, there's no money in it, right?
Yeah. There's, it's like everybody wants to be doing this, and they are happy with, being able to do this professionally, that it happens. But if nobody had passion for it, it would not work, because everybody would want to do the most efficient way to make money instead of, have a passion for a certain trait.
Yeah, and I mean, in almost every industry, there's this, right? There's the big, there's the big company that sells the maybe good product, but everybody has it. It's generic, right? Yeah. It's a good generic. But then there's the specialty guy, right? There's the guy who's making coffee just a little bit different, takes a hell of a lot more work to do, but it gets you that detail that you're looking for that you're not going to be able to reproduce any other way, right? And whether it's I'm sure there's knife guys and boot guys, and there's always people like that. There's the Red Wing boots, right? I'm not going to knock Red Wing boots. I think they make a fantastic boot. And then there's all the independent boot makers that they charge more because they have to charge more. They're a smaller operation, and quite frankly, what goes into their boots costs a lot more to do. Mm-hmm. Are they going to last any longer? That's one thing. Yeah. It's debatable, maybe in some ways, but what you get is something that is you can't mass produce it. Right. You cannot get it anywhere else. And if you're looking for those particular details, those are the guys who are going to go the extra distance to make sure that little tiny detail is there because you care about it. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of what the Foxfibre story is to me. And beyond that, I think just the story of colored cotton comes from the earth, comes from nature, no pesticides, organic, all this good stuff, right? Because the energy cost to produce this, of course there's the growing, but all that stuff that you don't have to pack in, that's just really good. It's just good, right? And anyways, I'm so impressed by it.
Yeah, because one thing I learned through conversation with Sally was, which I never really thought of, with all these years in the textile industry, and I never really thought of it. But companies, massive companies, spend hundreds of millions of dollars, every year or two, or whatever, in order to create genetically modified cotton to be pest resistant. Because obviously different pests or different things come into the environment all the time, so unless they continuously change it, the plant might be weak towards certain kind of pests, or certain if new thing gets introduced, it's like a virus, or it just can spread and the whole thing can go bust, and that could cost a lot of money. So they constantly have to chase after the newest versions of it, and in a way Sally is also doing that, but in much more literal way. Yeah. And then which is amazing, because literally obviously she's not spending hundreds of millions of dollars to figure out what's the next step in genetically modifying it to be to be able to grow pesticides free. She is dealing with good kind that is naturally strong, and generations after generations, this is the kind that would stand all of that. So it's amazing how what gets made in the massive side commercial way, and then the artisanal very small scale.
And I would say that also, while those guys are chasing, the next way to modify their seeds in order to become pest resistant or disease resistant, Sally has picked a variety these guys are doing it year by year, but Sally picked a variety of cotton that millennia of nature has designed it already to be pest resistant, because this colored cotton in its original form was kind of it was like a weed cotton. It was very, very pest resistant. It could just grow.
It's so strong.
Very strong. Nothing could stop it. And so nature provided the pest resistance for it. And on top of that, considering where they grow it, they grow this in a higher altitude with a colder environment. And that way, it reduces the amount of just natural pests that are going to be around. You just don't get the amount of it in colder environments. And then just another thing that I found very, very interesting also was where they grow it. In order to harvest cotton, you have to defoliate the plants. And they use chemicals to defoliate everything. But where they grow it, nature does that for them, because when the fall comes, the leaves start to fall. Mm-hmm. And so they use nature in as many ways as possible to create this product for you. So it's not just the not pesticides and things like that. It's just, the consideration of, the environment that we have, the conditions for which this plant thrives, how it thrives. it's a lot. And so it just, I think it just creates like an ultimate material. So
yeah. So that's what you're paying for when you're paying for a very expensive cotton.
Right. And so, as amazing as our explanation was,
yes,
Sally tells a much better story.
Yes, she's more eloquent.
Yeah, this is her personal Instagram. So go and follow her here at Sally Foxfibre, and she goes over the story little by little, bit by bit. This was us visiting the spinning mill here in Japan. They had a giant bale of Foxfibre, and I sent that picture over to Sally. But this is an older picture of Sally here with a bale here. But she talks. This is in 1990. This cotton's been around for a while, and it's not something I would say that has been utilized to the max. And so she talks about the struggles of growing it and having to move farms and just all kinds of stuff. And it's a long and very, very interesting story. And there's some green varieties, for example, from 1988. And she talks about growing some of these cottons for a garment for the Emperor of Japan. So a Japanese company had approached her because they were making some garments. They wanted to recreate some garments for the Emperor of Japan using some colored cottons, and I guess that's how they made it back in the day. And they couldn't find colored cotton anywhere in the world, so they found Sally, and that was Sally's kind of introduction to Japanese textiles. And and it's been a long story. I mean, obviously, I wasn't there for all of it. I know parts of it, and
pretty new to this. She's been doing this for entire life.
That's it. She's been doing it for a lot longer than us.
It's a very good resources that she puts out, and it's fascinating. Just to give you a heads up, people are excited about the green variety, but the currently available green is not that kind of a green. Like it's more like C form. Very light.
It's not as color fast as the brown.
Not at all. Not even close. So, and it's not as vibrant as brown at all. But so we're gonna work on some things with the green variety because I think that's fantastic.
But it's not as bright a green as you might think it is.
Exactly.
Anyways, it's coming.
We'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we'll tell you the story and how that comes to be when it comes to be.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Dusty Radtile says, as far as I know, the 2406 Red Wing boot is still assembled here in Red Wing, Minnesota, USA. Well, there you go. USA. Canadian Penny loves stories about following a passion. It's the true underdogs who change the world for the better.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you on that one.
I mean, obviously Foxfibre is not like, massively well-known, popular,
in certain communities, we know about it.
Yes, it's because it's by far the most exciting thing that you can learn if you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, so it's not massively distributed, obviously, but... it's just I think it's fantastic that we can it's such a limited cotton, and we get to make all kinds of things with it. I'm very excited the amount of variety of stuff that we can put out in one day.
Yeah.
For instance, in October 18th.
Foxfibre Day.
Yeah, we got a lot of Foxfibre goodness. So it's very exciting.
Yeah. Canadian Penny says, not color fast. You mean the color can wash out? The color fades a little bit with the green, with some of the more vibrant colors of green that they're not currently being grown, but that has been a problem. I read about it.
So it's even the current variety that's being produced, it's not as stable as brown. Brown also changes color with exposure to sunlight and water, like chemical balance in the water, that kind of things. But green, we hear that it's a little bit less stable than that too. It can, because brown, like the changes that you can see is very slight. Like you cannot even tell unless you compare it next to each other. Whereas green, I think it's visibly different. So
okay. Brandon says, pumped for green. You are talking about adding iron. What does that mean?
Yes, so that's that's likely what we're going to introduce soon. It is a way to stabilize the color without using any chemicals.
Yeah.
So what they do basically, as far as I understand, is like cook the cotton in water and iron in it. Like you put iron, water, cook the cotton in it, makes the color like toned down, like darker. It basically kind of just adds like an iron color to it.
Yeah.
But which makes the entire thing, the color of the cotton, be more stable.
Yeah.
I guess the iron adds something to the.
And they do this for all kinds of like natural dyes, and so it's kind of it adds a tint to a lot of natural dyes. So it's like a tint for natural dyes that provides color fastness as well.
Yeah.
And I would say if you're in like the natural dye world, you've known about like mordants for a long time, obviously. But I think in our world, even in our denim experience, like this is not something that's been talked about a lot. So this is something we will introduce more. So we're working on some iron mordant versions of the Foxfibre. So natural cotton without dye with a sort of a tint put together to create a different color, but all in the natural world.
Yeah.
So
it actually, makes the color a lot cooler too.
I think it makes a cool color.
Yeah, it's more wearable in a way.
Yeah.
It's more masculine. And, as far as I understand, like, again, like if you don't want to put any chemicals into the dye, like this is something you most likely have to do. Foxfibre is a very, unique, Foxfibre brown is a very unique variety that they don't have to do that in order to keep the color going. But, any other things, like Bahzad said, with natural dyes, they often use that. It's not just iron. I think they use different metals, like, naturally existing metals in order to do this. And it's a fascinating world. We still need to learn a little bit more about it.
But we'll do the course, and we'll give you guys the cliff notes of everything. BD says Sally has some comparisons of color on her web store. It's awesome. Definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Christian writes, any chance of hemming services for t-shirts in the future? My width is XXL, but my height is XL.
No.
Yeah.
Not anything that we're thinking of. But
do it locally.
Yeah. It's not a difficult thing. You can bring it to any tailor.
Yeah.
I'm planning on doing it myself to this long sleeve t-shirts because I'm also not very tall.
Yeah. But I would definitely bring that to your local tailor because they're gonna get it right. When someone's there, they're gonna get it right for you. So yeah. I think also, unlike jeans, like even if you're off like a little bit, you have room to cuff, right? So you could kind of fix it yourself, even if it's a little long or whatever. But with a t-shirt, if it ends up being maybe not the right length, I don't know. I think there's a little less openness there. So just have your tailor do it. It's probably going to cost you $10, and it's an easy operation for them.
Inflation might have.
Inflation, so maybe it's $5,000. I don't know. Inflation. Shrinkflation. Does that apply?
In tailor? Maybe they do like half.
They do half the stitching for you.
The rest you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, that's it. They start it, and you got to finish it. They'll set the machine up, and they're like, you do it. Do the rest.
Okay, there's a couple things. Is there anything in the chat that needs to be...
No, you go for it. I'm going to find some cool...
Okay.
Cool. Whoa. Hit the like button, everybody.
Yes. If you like all these stories about cotton and learning with ourselves alongside us, then hit the like button.
Yeah. If you want to learn more, support us in all the things that we do, donate a like. It costs you nothing, and we gain so much from it. So hit the like button, subscribe to our newsletter, tell a friend.
Tell a friend, yes.
Yeah, tell a friend. And that's it. That's all we ask of you guys.
Mm-hmm. Please.
There you go. Okay, Milo, right. Do y'all have a sample of the Fox Green?
No, we haven't made anything with it.
Yeah, it's next week. We actually have a bunch of production meetings, and that is on our list. So we're actually meeting with the yarn spinning people, the cotton people. So that's on the list, and then just another thing that I'm gonna sloop in there, just slide in there. I'm gonna see if they have stock of any old varieties of Foxfibre that haven't been grown in a long time. Now, I was talking to Sally to see if we can get some stuff going with some, because there's a lot of varieties. You know, the Foxfibre isn't just one color; it's many colors. Mm-hmm. And so I was talking to her about seeing if we can maybe revive an older color, something that has been grown in a long time. She thinks that maybe our yarn spinning people might have something in stock. So anyway, I'm going to check with them. If they have something, then that could be sooner than later. If there's something that we have to grow, it's going to take a long time. But that's one thing I would like to do down the line.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. This is a question that we get pretty constantly. So I just want to address, because our, big release day is coming up in 2 weeks. Why don't we do pre-orders? A lot of people want to ensure that they get what they want by paying it in advance before the launch date. And as much as we appreciate that sentiment, currently we don't plan on doing that for like stuff that we're gonna have like inventory on. Like there are exceptions. One exception that we've had in the past was doing the Tokushima natural indigo hand dyed t-shirts, garment dyed t-shirts. For that, because we just it's such an expensive process, and we didn't want to carry stock. We make just a bunch and then carry stock, and people get whatever they can get, kind of thing. We wanted it to be
get what you want.
Yeah, people choose the size that they need and then choose the shade that they want, and then get that done. Because it was because the limitation with the quantity, and it's just again, that was possible because we do the dyeing one by one. Well, we don't do it ourselves, but our the dye house that we work with do the t-shirts one by one. So we were able to do that, and that was meant for that. That project was designed to be pre-ordered and handled that way. Whereas our regular products, we book them well in advance so that we can make a certain amount of units, and we ask our retail partners to do the same. They put down their order, their bulk order, and they commit to that quantity. So for that, we're gonna have the inventory. So it's kind of like a I don't think it's suitable for that kind of pre-order and get pre-order and the stock kind of situation. We just don't really like to work that way, and it also gets complicated, I think. When do we start pre-orders, and so and when we launch, like, do we have just a missing sizes? Like it's not something that we want to do in the future either. So what we recommend instead is, obviously we try our best to have stock enough, have a matching, stock to the demands. That's our aim to do. But on your side, what we can recommend you to do is be prepared for the release. If you know what you want, first of all, you figure out your size. That's very important to do ahead of time, because figuring out your size is not just guessing. It is something that you have to take out. Like, if you're looking to buy a hoodie, you take out a hoodie that fits you well, measure the chest, measure the length, all kinds of things, and compare it to the measurements that we list on our product page. So that takes, minutes. But it is something you can prepare for ahead of time and know the release date. Obviously, we're going to announce the release date through our email newsletter, our live stream, our Instagram, stuff like that. So just if you're looking to buy something, know our release date. If you can't figure it out, email us. There's a page on our website right now that shows you when the release date and restock dates of each product that's due to come out in near future.
So just scroll down to the bottom of the website, release and restock schedule, and then it lets you know what's coming out and when. So this is our schedule. If it's not on the list, I don't know when it's coming in.
Exactly.
So this is what all the information that we have, and it's available here for you. So if you're like, when is this coming out? Because I don't see it on the list. My answer is the same as your answer. I don't know.
So it's actually easier to look at this page than email us. So do that. And when you're very close to the release date, this is my ultimate tip. Not everybody knows this, but have you noticed that there's a link at the bottom of our website that takes us to our shop page?
Okay, wait, let's go back there.
So,
okay, Wonderlooper website, wonderlooper.com. Let's scroll all the way down. And
so the follow on shop. So this would take you to a shop website. If you have a shop account, your checkout time is like minutes.
Seconds.
It's a matter of seconds.
So let's explain what Shop is. Shop is a app. So just download. It's called the Shop app. SHOP. This is an app run by Shopify, which is the platform that our website is built on. If you're in business and you're on the internet, odds are you use a platform called Shopify. They make it so that people can make shoppable websites relatively easily. So this app lets you connect to all the different stores that you like. So not just Wonderlooper, but Tate and Yoko, Blue Owl, a lot of the stores that you shop on online. You may or may not realize it, but they are using the Shopify platform. And if you use the Shop app, you can check out in seconds because it has all your information saved. It has your payment information saved. You click buy now, it runs you through the entire process in one shot. So this isn't just a tip for us, but if there's any other websites that have like release times,
it's convenient also.
I use it all the time when I'm shopping online now because it's just there's all if I'm shopping on the Godzilla website or some other website, whatever I'm shopping for, click the button, ordered. One shot.
I mean, don't just
shop responsibly.
Be careful. Yes, don't just shop just because it's easy to shop. But if there's something that you want and you want to get it quick, that is a very good way to prepare. And I also just would add, just be on time. I cannot do anything about it if it sells out quicker than we expected, and we don't have your size anymore or something like that. There's nothing we can do at this point. We want everybody to get what they want. Just try to be on time, I guess.
Yes.
That's my ultimate advice.
Yeah. And I'll just say, if something sells out, we're going to make it again.
And first of all, what you have to do is to go to our
retailer partners
website, because a lot of them carries a lot of our products.
And I'm going to say, of course, wonderlooper.com, but some of our retail partners, they deal a little bit more locally, right? They don't have the online presence as some other online retailers do. So chances are, maybe there's something that's sold out on wonderlooper.com. You might find it on their website still, right? So, check around. If you need help finding something, send us an email. Don't just send us a DM. I would say emails are better. DMs are fine for little questions here and there. But if I have to look up something, it's easier because I'm behind the computer. If I have to look up the location or where I can find some stock, it's easier for me to do it all. I'm sitting in front of my computer instead of looking it up and then typing it on my phone. Yeah, it's very annoying. Yeah, if it's hey, what size do you wear? That's okay. That's easy. But where can I find this, or where's this store send me the emal.
Yeah, and it's also just it's way more organized for us. So yes, and to add to that, there are questions that are good for live stream. For instance, a question that might help everybody. Correct. I think if you could ask us in a live stream, or if you can make it live, on comment on the video. Yeah. Those are fantastic questions for us to answer publicly. Yeah. And there are also answers that
because if you have that question, odds are somebody else might have that question, and that way we can address it, and people who are interested in that can find that question. So, so if you some email questions, maybe like a product knowledge, like a PK session, and I'm like,
I can't do that individually because that's crazy, but we can do that.
Yeah. It's like you've asked me an essay level question here. I cannot answer.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes you might not understand. It might be something you might expect our answer to be very quick and simple. Yeah. But a lot of the things are more complicated, and we don't want to give you a half answer. We don't want to give you a surface level answer. Most of the time, we're as passionate, if not more, about these things. So we want to get into the details. So for those kind of questions, we would love to deal with it live or on YouTube.
Okay, so Chris asked a question, not trying to be annoying. Okay, let's find out. But I was wondering about Sea Island Cotton Tsuriami shirts versus Ultimate Pima, and if you would do it.
If we would do it?
I would say that Sea Island Cotton and Ultimate Pima are both, depending on where the Sea Island Cotton comes from, if it's a Caribbean grown, or if it's there's American Sea Island Cotton. So Sea Island Cotton has its roots in a lot of extra long staple varieties. Now, whether or not we would use Sea Island Cotton versus Ultimate Pima, I think we've already made our decision, and we're using Ultimate Pima. And to make both separately, I don't think it's I don't think it's something I would necessarily do. I'm very happy using Ultimate Pima. I know, our Foxfibre comes there, Ultimate Pima comes from there. It all comes from one place. I'm happy to just continue doing that. I don't really see a benefit.
Just because they're very close. They're very similar story, similar, capability.
Yeah. I just don't, it's Ferrari or Lamborghini, which one do you want? At some point it's just okay, you've got.
Well, I think
here are the best.
Well, yes, but it's more because cotton form, it might be very, very similar. It just depends on what you do with it, right? So even if we make Ultimate Pima tea and Sea Island Cotton tea, the chances of us making identical knitting, like identical yarns, identical like knitting structure. It's like just to compare, like I don't think you would even be able to tell the difference, honestly. So you wouldn't do that. And if we use different method of production, different knitting or different size yarns or whatever,
right?
Then you would like
how
obviously
would you,
like it's like the difference of cotton is not what you're feeling. It's just a difference of making the fabric. So I just don't think we have enough. Like, if we are just massive brands, we can just do whatever anytime we want, then we might do that just for the fun of it, just to even see if we can compare, like, to see the difference. But it's just, we're not that place. Our resources are limited, and if our resources are limited, that just means that, like, we want to put it into good use, where as a product, not just like as an experiment that it's interesting, but it's more like meaningful as a product.
Yeah.
So
right.
I think that's my answer.
I think that's a better answer than mine. Well, there you go. Raphael MC, Ultimate Pima double heavyweight, maybe?
That, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say, I would put that in the maybe category, because that's a t-shirt. Yeah, I'll put that in. I'll check mark on maybe. Mm-hmm. We'll leave it there. Mm-hmm. Again, resources, time, these are all things in an infinite line then maybe becomes a definitely, but with limited time and resources, sometimes maybe stay in maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you have no idea. We have so many things we want to do that we can't even like start thinking about it because it's just the two of us.
It's great that like, I think in like Naked and Famous land, when we're like combining, it took us a long time in our history to come to like, why don't we just start combining ideas? Yeah. And like, we're already there with Wonder Looper, but like, guys, there's stuff you haven't even seen yet, right? There's stuff that you don't even know you can combine yet. Yeah. So like, we're gonna take things into like a direction that I think is gonna be very fun.
Right.
So just
bear with us.
Yeah, bear with us.
We're gonna get there probably,
but. Dale writes, winter is fast approaching here in the Yukon. Which hoodie would you say is cozier, Foxfibre double heavyweight or fleeced Foxfibre? Cozier, I think the fleeced Foxfibre, because the fleeced interior really holds the warmth in very well. The heavyweightness is nice, and it's like a great wind blocker and things like that. I think it works very well as like a jacket, but like as terms of like, I think thermal like heat retention, I think the fleeced would do I think the fleecing will do a good job.
I don't know. I would say that if you want to wear it at home to be cozy, I would go with fleece Foxfibre. Whereas if you want to take it out, like, obviously you probably have to layer on top of that if you're in Yukon. But like, if you like, this is more of like outside, I'm gonna be outside the kind of clothes, I might go with double heavyweight. Yeah, I don't know.
The double heavyweight fabric is also more rugged, right? So like, say you're like hiking or like out like doing stuff, like I just feel like that can withstand a beating. Whereas the fleece Foxfibre, like, it's a great sweatshirt, but it's more like a cozy sweatshirt. Right, it's like
home sweatshirt.
Yeah, like
not that you can wear it.
Yeah, you can wear it out, but
sorry.
I guess it's tough because you're also dealing with like, one is half the weight of the other, or less than half the weight of the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is also another question that we got on the email, which I said maybe we can answer it in the live stream. So somebody wanted us to compare double heavyweight French Terry, Fleece Fox, and Super Looper. Just our sweatshirt material comparison. Do you want to start?
Sure. Okay, so fleece. Do I have it here? I have to have it probably somewhere here. Probably should have got it. Hold on a second.
Yeah, just from the perspective of weight, let's just pull the data on the weight. So double heavyweight French Terry previously was 701 GSM. Starting this fall, the fabric we changed we didn't change the yarns, but we did change a little bit of the way we make the fabric. So the weight actually went up as a result of that. Double heavyweight French terry, depending on the color, it does fluctuate a little bit, but in colored version it can be up to 876 GSM. So I would say, a little above 850. And double heavyweight French terry Foxfibre, it's slightly different. It is 825 GSM. So that one is, they're all kind of really unbelievably heavy. Fleeced Foxfibre, on the other hand, is 345 GSM, so it is less than half of double heavyweight French terry. Still, it's 10 ounce per square yard. It is not a lightweight by any means. It is kind of like a standard, heavier weight, I guess. And the Super Looper French terry is 446 GSM. Yeah. So that one is slightly heavier than our Fleeced Foxfibre, and it is still, it's not something that blows your mind in terms of weight, but it is, heavyweight enough that it keeps you pretty warm.
Right.
It's pretty sturdy.
So I just want to compare and show us some of the fabric texture. So this is the Fleeced Foxfibre. You can see on the inside, it got this smooth sort of like woolen-like texture. So it doesn't have the sort of classic French terry loops that you would expect. It's been brushed away. So they give it that nice texture, and I think that helps keep it nice and cozy and warm, where it really holds in the warmth very well. So it creates a lot of air pockets in that sense, and it's also just nice. Soft, just brushed and soft and very, very cozy. Whereas the double heavyweight French terry, you can see all those French terry loops, but they're very densely knit together. So it kind of looks like the weave of a denim, like a very thick heavyweight denim here, and they're very thick. But the Super Looper is kind of, I would say it doesn't have it's not brushed. But I think the fact that the loop sizes are random and they're very long, it kind of creates like this sort of billowy, softy fabric. It feels kind of like a towel, like a big plush towel. And so you can see the difference between the texture here and here is quite different. This is a lot more uniform, but very, very thick. These loops aren't quite as thick, but they're random in size. So you can see that there's like parts that are very small and there's parts that are very long. And together, I would say kind of has like a brushed sort of feeling to it. But of course, it's not quite the same as like a traditional brushed interior here. So hopefully you can see all three textures in the same shot. Let's try to do this. We need like camera B from like above.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll have the.
One day we can afford that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see the three different textures here.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then just flip it the other way. You can even see on the other side the difference between the double heavyweight French terry, Super Looper, and Fleeced Foxfibre. Things like the yarn size, double heavyweight is just
something fell in our back.
Double heavyweight is such a bigger yarns. That's why it feels more tough. It can probably withstand a little bit more of like snags and stuff like that. Because they are,
they're so thick.
Yeah,
you can really see the knit like pattern here very easily. Whereas here, even though these are heavyweight, you just don't see them, right? You just don't see them the same way as this. Here, it's very clearly visible, right? So there you go. Yeah. Okay, there was another question. Mr. Ben Hall asked, "Can you help me understand how heavy a double heavyweight T-shirt is? I love heavier shirts, but I'm wondering." Like what time of year would it work best since I live in the South where it's humid?
Okay, so that's a very difficult question. We get that all the time. Like, is this suitable for this temperature? It is difficult to say. Double heavyweight t-shirt is literally like wearing 2 heavyweight t-shirts in terms of weight. Yeah. So
409 GSM. A typical heavyweight t-shirt is in like 180 to 200 like GSM range. It's heavy. I would say, on the hottest of summer days,
you probably don't want to wear that.
Yeah. Or if you do, you want to wear it a little oversized, right? Where you have a little bit of airflow coming through.
Yeah.
But in the fall, even in like a Texas winter, I think it's no problem, right? In Arizona winter, Arizona fall, you'd probably have no problem wearing it. In the summer, it might be a little much. Mm-hmm. That's where maybe an ultimate Pima or something would be a lot more comfortable to wear. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think, or I've also heard it the other way. Sometimes when you live in those really kind of hot environments, you're not outside very often and you're just constantly surrounded by AC. And so if you're living in AC land, then this might actually be a good shirt for you. Mm-hmm. I know that some of our answers are like yes and no, and then no and yes. But it really kind of depends on your environment. I would say that the t-shirt itself is not so heavy that it's unwearable or unbearable, but on the hottest days, it's going to be hot. It's like wearing heavyweight denim on the hottest days. Like you could do it.
Yes. But again, like it just depends. Like some days, like I prefer wearing a double heavyweight because it just like, it doesn't cling to your body as much. So like if it's a sweaty day and if there's some wind, like, some airflow, then I would much rather have like an airflow going with a thicker material than like, something that sticks to me. So I don't know, just a matter of preference and,
M. Chi writes, would you wear it in Tokyo August? I have worn double heavyweight in Tokyo August.
You have even worn triple heavyweight.
Yeah, I was even wearing the triple heavyweight. I live in AC land. On the hottest days, my amount of time outside is limited to going from, our home to our office, which is like a 3-minute walk away. Or, if I'm walking to the metro, which is, just a few minutes, and then the metro is like blasting with AC. Like, I'm not spending a lot of time outside. It's like in the winter time. Like in Canada, like I might have a heavy down jacket, but I end up not needing it because the amount of time I actually spend outside is very limited. Mm-hmm. And when I am inside in Canada in the winter, it's just heat everywhere. So I end up wanting to wear like things that, that will not make me too hot. Mm-hmm. And whereas here, if it's really hot outside, I want to wear something that's going to make sure that I'm not too cold. So if I wear something really, really light inside, I feel like, man, I'm cold. Whereas, wearing a little bit of a heavier garment in the AC makes me very comfortable. So there's a non-answer for you there as well. So it all depends on your situation.
Yeah.
If I was a construction worker outside in Japan August, I would not be wearing a triple heavyweight t-shirt or double heavyweight t-shirt. That's going to be a little much. But one thing I have to say that even in like the dead of summer, wearing like a double heavyweight t-shirt, I always felt like, when I am outside, I felt like the sun was like cooking my skin, but it wasn't cooking where I was covered up with my thick t-shirt. So
you should wear a sunscreen. Maybe.
I should wear sunscreen. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. There was also some questions about the French terry fox. Wait, does the double heavy Melody writes? Does the double heavyweight French terry Foxfibre shrink after the first wash?
Yes, a little.
Yeah. So the double heavyweights do shrink a little bit after the wash. We'll put up the shrinkage rate on the measurement chart.
Okay.
No, like 3 or 5%. Expect that kind of amount.
Yeah. There's anything.
Yeah.
our double heavyweight t-shirts are the only exception that they somehow do not shrink, because I think it's so dense that it doesn't have any room to shrink. But any knitted material in general will shrink up to maybe 3-4%. That's the average. That's the standard that like the fabric mills go with. That's not an extreme shrinkage. But again, as we repeatedly talk about on this topic, a lot of things, especially in knits, can be stretched back after you wash. I think the best time to do this is when it's damp. So after you wash, before you dry, you just gently stretch them so that it doesn't, it just gives you a little more recovery before you dry them.
Right. I will, sometimes what I'll do is, even after they come out of the dryer, I'll steam them, and then while they're kind of in that steamy damp mode, then I'll stretch them out a little bit. But even if they're just being worn, sometimes I'll just, pull out of the dryer, tug on the sleeves a little bit, right? Pull the length down. So you can recover most of the shrinkage. Some of the shrinkage is permanent, but most of it comes back. That's just the way knitwear is. Sometimes you just got to give it a little stretchy stretch, and then it comes back to its shape. So just keep that in mind.
And Steve asks, are your measurements guide per pre or post wash? It's always pre-wash. It's the garment that you will get brand new is what we're measuring. So.
Yeah, and I would say that, maybe sometimes you'll say, oh, there's no shrinkage, because some sweatshirts and things like that, they might have went through a wash already. Like, they garment washed it, they garment dyed it or something like that. So that already shrunk the fabric, so it's not going to shrink any more than that. Like from when you get it, now it might stretch out a little bit as you wear it and then shrink back to that size later on. But ours were, we don't pre-wash them for you, so. Okay. Kevin writes, is it possible to make Indigo sweatpants? Is it? Oh boy, hold on. I gotta maybe put those over there. Okay. Not only is it possible,
we have done it.
We have, but it hasn't released yet.
It's a sample.
So this is sort of, I think, if you've been following us long enough, you've seen this a couple of times, because this is sort of the product that keeps getting bumped, right? And so this is going to get bumped until next fall, just because I think it's too heavy to release in the spring. Like, realistically, we could. Anyway, it's too late now. We could have released it for the upcoming spring, but
I have to say, I told you so.
Risa has told me so. Let it be known. But we're going to release these next fall. So indigo dyed yarns with a sort of blanket lined stripe interior. So this is reminiscent of like old, jean jackets. And we just thought that, how could we combine our denim love and knitwear love? And this is how you do it. And so these are going to fade. They're going to age just like, you would expect. And so we will have these in sweatpant form. We're going to have it in crew neck sweatshirts, pullover sweatshirts, and zip sweatshirts as well. So you're going to have it all. You're going to have it all. And Indigo is coming. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Stephen writes, they will be mine. Oh yes.
Interesting.
They will be mine.
Yeah.
M. Chi writes about the double heavyweight t-shirts. True. My office always blasts the AC in the hot summer.
Yeah. That's the worst thing about summer. It's just like you're uncomfortable no matter where you are. You're just like either too cold or too hot.
I'm not uncomfortable. give me a hot outside, cool inside, with appropriately, a double heavyweight t-shirt is keeps me good. But if I'm outside, I've still got enough, bareness that I'm not uncomfortable, and I'm not outside all day, so I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
You heard it here.
Yeah. Salami seller, appropriately named. I need some more double heavyweight pants in the Bahzad special. I'm going to say it in every live stream. What's the first rule of the Bahzad special? I'm breaking it right now, but I have to remind you guys because you guys are part of this. You don't talk about the Bahzad special. You don't talk about it. And chances are
you
can't afford it. I'm not making a judgment call on everyone, but it costs more than money. This is you know what I mean? It's not a money thing.
No.
So, don't ask if you can't afford it. And don't mention it because you're not supposed to. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to leave it there. Mm-hmm. Some people might be wondering what I'm talking about.
This is a running joke.
It's from the old days. You don't want it. Struggle Studios writes, every summer I'm drenched in sweat walking to the train station.
Therefore, Struggle Studios.
Yeah, therefore Struggle Studios. That's where you get the name. Yeah, some people are more perspiry than others. Anyways,
and some places are more humid than others.
That's true. Yeah. BD writes, folks, you can always DIY your own special.
Yes. If you want it, you can make it happen.
You can. If you post photos on Instagram, do not tag me. I don't want to know. Brandon Edwards says, I haven't noticed much shrinkage at all. Been washing high heat, air dry. I'm a giant, and my skin would be showing if they shrunk. I give them an A+ on shrink factor. Just my opinion. Brandon Edwards, thank you for your testimony. Yeah, I'm gonna say that we torture test, not just in their testing, but also in real life. I'm a dryer guy.
Even though we don't recommend people putting clothes in the
Let's
dryer.
get into that. Okay. So why do we not recommend the dryer?
Because dryer ultimately affects the longevity of the fabric, the garment. It does add unnecessary heat, and heat and abrasion is not great for fibers.
Yeah.
So it will age faster. It will, make the fabric age faster.
It's gonna it adds abrasion to the fabric. So we don't recommend it because what we recommend is how you can get the longest life out of your product as possible. Now that being said, it's your sweatshirt, it's your t-shirt. You do whatever you want to it. Just know what you're getting into. A dryer is great because it dries your clothes. It does a lot faster. If you don't have to worry about, a lot of people in Japan, they don't have dryers. Most people in Japan don't have dryers. They line dry a lot of things. But you got to deal with the weather. Sometimes you got to deal with that wind. Sometimes the wind takes your shirts and blows them into an adjacent building's back where you cannot access them, and you don't want to be the foreign guy hopping a fence into some other property when your wife's not home to explain to the cops why you were hopping over the fence of another property, because somebody definitely would call the cops and they would point me out, no problem, and they'd be like, why are you doing that? Mm-hmm. I don't want to deal with that. And so
bitter about that.
I lost some good shirts that day.
Yeah. One shirt, right?
I think I recovered one, but there was another one. I could just look at it. I saw it, and I was hoping somebody would just put it in the front of the building. Nobody did it. Somebody took that shirt. Anyhow, I use the dryer because it's convenient, but I know the risks that I'm getting involved with. Sometimes it might fade the garment a little bit. Sometimes it might, make it a little more fuzzy. That's what happens when you put it in the dryer. If you want your garment to be as pristine as possible for as long as possible, you got to treat it delicately. Mm-hmm. So that's why we recommend the delicate touch, because it's going to give you the longer life. Now, if you're okay with shortening the life of your garment a little bit, or some amount, whatever, I don't know how strong your dryer is, to have more convenience, that's something you have to decide on your own.
Yes. As you know, cotton garments can be put into dryer. Mm-hmm. It's not. We don't use any special cotton that is just, not okay to put in a dryer. No, our products can withstand tumble dry. It's just that's something we cannot recommend. Just for just as but sometimes some people take it like literally, like, why I can't do this, and we also say no bleach because bleach does also even though most of our white t-shirts are off-white, so if you bleach, then it would be stark white, so it's I don't recommend that anyways, but even the Ultimate Pima Tsuriami t-shirt, our Ultimate Pima Tsuriami t-shirt is pretty like white, so you can technically put bleach in the wash and it will brighten up the white, but it does also damage the fiber ultimately, so it is not recommended. Doesn't mean that you can't do it.
It's not going to disintegrate if you put our garments in the dryer or if you use bleach on a white t-shirt. It's not going to do that, but it is going to take a little sliver off the end, a little bit more than if you didn't do it. That's all. So we recommend the gentle touch. You want to and look, the dryer isn't. Look,
it's not going to instantly change. It's just a matter of the course of the life of the garment. You would wash probably pretty often, and it does affect. Again, this is not a set in stone. Like this is the holy, words of wisdom. It is something that we cannot take responsibility for. If you mess up your bleach job, or if you put something in the dryer and it shrinks a little bit more, or it just makes it a little it gets caught in something or whatever. Like, we cannot take responsibility for that. That's also kind of why we will make sure that our butt is covered. In a way. So you, as soon as you purchase something, that's yours. You can do whatever you want.
Throw paint on it.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
I don't recommend that, but you can.
Go nuts. It's yours. Shane Style writes, know the rules before you break the rules. Same for raw denim. Haha. Right. There you go. Yeah, just know what you're getting into when you do the thing. So, Mr. Green says, I can attest to hand washing and air drying. It has made my clothes last longer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The more delicate you treat it, the longer your garments are going to last. But, some people, like me, I'm too lazy, and I have an unlimited number of hoodies.
Yeah. Well, don't say it like that. It's not good to be wasteful. That's not what we're...
Right. But to be fair, my hoodies and t-shirts since day one have been in the dryer, and I've experienced no problems. None. I have like the black double heavyweight sweatshirt. That's faded. Probably has faded a lot more than if I had not put it in the dryer. I'll go get it just so you guys can see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also it does shrink a little bit more when you put tumble dry. And if you don't want to risk that, you probably want to avoid tumble drying. Just use your own discretion. Take responsibility for your decisions to put something in the dryer or put a bleach in the wash, or things like that. That's what we're just trying to explain here. This is
it. You can see it's faded around the edges. I think I got a pizza oil stain somewhere, right? This is seen life.
This has been yours since. This
is one of the first samples we even made. Like, this wasn't even the final fit. Yeah. Like, this is seen a lot of wear and a lot of dryer. But if you're gonna get some color fading here and there. That's just gonna be part of it.
Kind of looks nice.
I think it looks cool. Yeah. I've made vintagey. Bingo. It looks a lot more vintagey now. But that's what you're gonna get when you put things in the dryer. You're gonna get some color change and things like that, but that's just part of it. Okay.
Sorry.
Nope, no problem. Risa's been coughing. Anyways, we appreciate your patience with coughing. Pretty Hal writes, y'all use dehumidifiers to dry clothes?
Not really.
Not really.
I know some people do.
Yeah.
We don't do that so much.
Yeah. Struggle Studios writes, wow, vintage Wonder Looper. Yeah, it'll take...
I think we're like 17 years away from...
being vintage? Yeah, but it'll get 17, there.
18.
But yeah, I mean, it's coming along. You know, this is kind of a cool... Look at that on the hood. I changed to the newer cords. If you're around since the beginning, you know, the first seasons had the thinner cords.
Yeah.
Shang Style, which color dye do you guys think ages the best? Can you get the Sumi color by washing / drying black a lot, or are they very specific? Are they very different dyes? The next iteration of these are going to be yarn dyed instead of fabric dyed. So there might be even a little bit of a variation in terms of how it ages. But I would say that black in the dryer is going to fade. Black in the dryer is going to fade. So if you want to get like this Sumi kind of color out of your black, just throw it in the dryer more often.
This started off as Sumi, to be fair.
Right. But it was a lot blacker.
Faster.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have anything that is fully black. Double heavyweight t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's an ultimate Pima t-shirt.
Yeah.
Those two blacks are like black.
Yeah.
And it will take longer for it to become this level of black, but it will. Yeah. That's the kind of the idea of Sumi. Like, for instance, this fabric, it's the Sumi, compared to our
standard black.
Here.
Yeah.
This is our black. So obviously, when things starts to, like, you know, I haven't washed this yet, but things starts to like wash off a little bit and just, you know, it starts to fade, it will get a lot fadier looking faster than starting with this. Right. But this will eventually get there too.
Somebody wanted to see the texture of this hoodie. So yeah, there you go. It's got a little cat hair on it. That's just part of life around here. But yeah, you can see around the seams how it's like a lot darker than, you know, where it's been washed up. But yeah, this has seen the dryer a lot. I mean, in the wintertime, this is very much a go-to sweatshirt for me. And I like the way it's faded. I like it. I like an old sweatshirt. So new sweatshirt to become an old sweatshirt. That's my aim. I feel like I had some like, no, maybe not. I thought I had maybe some like honeycombs or something. Yeah. A little bit more. Not really, but yeah, you can see the texture of that sweatshirt. So, yeah. J-Man85, are you a medium? Do you feel like you have more room, or is it just fitted, especially after dyeing? I wear medium pretty much across the board. Double heavyweight t-shirts and a medium fit me. I wouldn't say they're not tight, but they're fitted. Mm-hmm. And the sweatshirts are like, I got room, right? Because sweatshirts, you don't want them to be like tight. So like this is me in a medium sweatshirt, right? So I've got room in it. Though I could wear a large t-shirt if I want to wear it a little bit more loose. You know, some people want to wear their t-shirts a little bit closer to the body. Some people want to wear it a little bit looser. It's not like I'm 170. I go from like 170 to 175 real fast. But like I'm around 170 pounds. I wear medium. I'm 5'9". So
turns out he's 5'9".
Yeah,
we were saying 5'8" the entire time, but. We did the calculation.
I did the calculation like 2 days ago. Yeah. So I thought it was, what am I in centimeters?
170.
Anyhow, I thought I was like 177 centimeters, and it turns out I'm less. And I thought I was 177 centimeters and 5'8". Turns out I'm less in centimeters, but higher in foot. I don't know. Wait, Risa's got it.
175.7, so 176.
176 centimeter. I thought I was 177, so I shrunk there.
But you're still above 5'9".
So So there I am.
Yeah. And again, like the question we got is in regards to sizing, like, do you always wear the same size in t-shirts versus the sweatshirts? Some people, I know, some people want to size down in the sweatshirts from their t-shirt size, because some people like the sweatshirts to be like a little bit closer to the body than we intended sizing wise. So our intention sizing wise was that t-shirt would fit a little closer to the body, so like it doesn't affect if you wear something other layers on top of it. With sweatshirts, you want to have a little bit more room, so it fits a little, looser baggier, more, comfortable.
Yeah.
But if you like your sweatshirts to not be, loose, it needs to be a little bit more compact, then you can go size down. I haven't really seen the opposite. The size is smaller in t-shirts. Like, I think our t-shirt size is, it's
I think it's pretty. We get very few size returns.
Yeah.
Very, very, very few. Like, I would say if you're generally a North American medium, you'd probably be a medium in our t-shirts. That's a very general statement, but like...
No. I really don't like to say that, because there are tons of brands that are, I have to say, just in the past, 10, 15 years, there's just a very big difference in sizing in I don't know about women's wear, but like menswear. So, a lot of brands are going, like, changing the size up so that, like, the same letter, like medium, would be fit a little bit larger. So it's a very dangerous assumptions to make. If it's like, I've always been a medium, I'm always going to be a medium. That's not how it works. I always recommend you to take the measurement.
Yes, I always recommend the measurement, but I'm just saying, as a starting point, if you're a medium, you're probably going to be a medium. Probably. Check the measurements, always.
But I hear so many people, it's like, I've always been large in this brand, that brand.
But
and then,
somebody's just trying to make an excuse for whatever. But my point is that, like, if you're wearing, like, not a baggy t-shirt, you wear like a normal fitting t-shirt and you're a medium, you're probably going to be a medium in ours. Double check the measurements. That's always what you're going to do. But, like, the way our sizing is like, the t-shirt is a medium, and it's not going to be oversized. It's going to be, it's not a tight fit either, but it's meant like, I would say, how a t-shirt is supposed to feel, right? It's a little bit closer to the body, not skin tight, something that you can layer with. But a sweatshirt is supposed to be a little bit looser, so in the medium, it's supposed to be a looser fit. And so that's just the way that they're designed. So if you wear, like, a double heavyweight t-shirt in medium underneath, a double heavyweight sweatshirt on top, you can wear that combined together no problem, because you're going to have the room underneath that sweatshirt to accommodate that t-shirt underneath. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's exactly what we said. So let's just leave it at that. And in terms of sizing, do not rely on your past experience.
Yeah. John says, are your shirts and goodies, I guess hoodies, made to North American sizes? Japanese sizes tend to be smaller. Yes, our spec is more leaning towards North America. We are definitely more Western-centric in terms of sizing.
I think that's also why, like, our bigger sizes sell out way quicker, because I think we're maybe the only Japanese brand who goes up to double extra large.
We will also start to offer some triple XLs and things.
We haven't really made that decision yet, but we will. We hear you. There are bigger guys. We understand, so we'll do something about that. Not necessarily something we'd like to announce right now.
I'm gonna announce it.
We haven't made a decision yet.
Let's make a decision.
No, do you see any triple XL in our future production? No, so let's not make a thing.
But let's Let's get the hype train going for XXXL.
But another thing is that, obviously the more smaller increments of size that we make, it's gonna be harder for us to keep stock of every size. So our discussion, just to be very transparent, is that do we make the XXL larger than it is now in order to accommodate the people who think who are a little too big for our current XXL, and just make this scale, like the pitch a little bit bigger. So that's a discussion. We haven't made any decision on that yet.
Let's talk to these nice people who are XXLers out there. Do you find that your XXL, if it was a little bit bigger, would it be more comfortable for you? That's a good question. Would the XXL folks be offended if the XXL got a little bit bigger, that it would accommodate a XXXL also?
Yeah, but we're not just changing XXL, so that's a kind of a hard question for anybody to answer, I think, because you just where depends on where in XXL you fall. You might be able to be perfectly comfortable in regular XL, like no XL, right? So I think that's the discussion we're gonna have. If you have any inputs, please let us know. But
Steven says I like 2XL the way it is, and Raphael says if I eat too much, 2XL can be a bit tight. So we got some competing opinions here.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll see. But we do need to accommodate. I feel like there's enough people asking for a size bigger than 2XL.
100%.
So
yes.
we will find a way to accommodate you. Maybe that's a better answer.
Yes, we try. Obviously, we cannot accommodate every single person in existence, but we will definitely try. We hear you.
We're going to accommodate every single person in existence. Mm-hmm. So come at us with all of your odd requests. We will accommodate any and all. Devin Hurt says, I like my sweatshirts to be loose, but there's a downside. Being in the under 6 foot club, sizing up to a large, sometimes the extra fabric makes it look like I got a little paunch. Like a little tum-tum. I hear you. I like my sweaters to be a bit loose. I mean, but there's a downside. Being in the under 6 foot club, I mean, I'm under 6 feet, and they're loose. This is not like tight on me. And I think that's kind of normal. I don't know. It depends on how loose it is, I guess, on you.
But yeah, what he's saying is that if I go a size larger, that does, effectively make it a little more bumpy because it's longer.
Right, I guess so. Yeah, that's something to consider. Depending on how tight the waistband is on you. One thing that you can do, and I've seen people do it, is you could always tuck in the waistband a little bit. I do
that all the time.
And I see people wear sweatshirts like this a lot, where maybe the t-shirt's hanging out a little bit, and they'll just have the
I do that all the time.
Or they'll do something like this, where it's a little bit. This one's not so tight around my waist, but it just kind of layer it up like that, and that kind of helps it out a lot more.
I mean, I think that's what they're talking about in terms of it does get longer, but it will stay at the same, level as on the body. That it gives you an extra droop, I guess, in the fabric. But I do tuck in that waistband all the time. Obviously, I'm a lot shorter than most people out there in men's sizing, so I would definitely tuck it in so that it's not it doesn't make me too much of a fabric bump here. It'll be a little bit more cleaner, and I make sure that I don't show off my midriff when I raise the hands by having a layer of t-shirt kind of coming under.
Right. Yeah. Adam Brown says, I wear a large in Wonder Looper t-shirts, and when I ordered my hoodie from you, I ordered an XL and was happy with it, I prefer a bit more room than less.
There you go.
So yeah, different strokes for different folks. So yeah, I guess it all depends on you. Like I'm a pretty consistent medium t-shirts, medium sweatshirts. Sometimes I'll go if I want just a little bit looser. I'll wear a large or even an XL in the t-shirts. I do have to get them shortened a little bit just because like the XL is a little too long on me.
Yeah.
But sweatshirts, like if I wear a large, I feel like they're too large on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes it's the look, right? Like I'm, I wear an extra small in short sleeve t-shirts, and that's a good size. It's still a little bit big on me. Whereas like with long sleeve, like when I tried on the extra small, it's just like slightly big on me, so like it wasn't like a good look. I thought so. Like I went to size small so that it's like definitely more loose fit. Like it's just kind of the silhouette I was looking for. Okay. So you can play around with that. You just get what you feel like, and then that's the importance of measuring something that you like you if you're getting a hoodie, just get the hoodie that you want this hoodie to fit like, and then you measure that.
Arif says large in shirts, medium in sweatshirts, and he's 5'8", 165, 170, so around my size, and he goes large in the shirts, medium in the sweatshirts. I can
that's a common way.
I could go large in the sweatshirts. I tend to prefer mediums, but I could go large in the sweatshirts. But yeah, medium in the sweatshirt all the way. Large in the sweatshirt for me at my size, I think is a little too big. BD writes XL in shirt and XL in hoodie in Wonder Looper. The hoodie has good amount of room. Thanks for making garments that make people happy. Well, you are welcome, good sir. And BD says he's 215 at 6 feet tall, right? And XL. So I think that would be, that sounds like the right size. So there you go, everybody. Let's get into snack time. But one thing I want to do before we get into snack time is somebody mentioned that they like Snoopy mugs, and they noticed my Snoopy mug. Look at that Snoopy mug. It's a great Snoopy mug, and it's true. I'm not worth a thing before my coffee break. I need my coffee in the morning. It wakes me up real good. And Risa's got a Snoopy mug here as well.
This is more of a newer, made in Japan, the Fire King, that was celebrating 50 years of Beagle Scouts.
There you go.
I love these tiny little
Woodstocks. It's wonderful. Adam Brown says small shoes or large shoes. So this is in reference to Vince.
Okay, sorry,
who he has a large. His feet are big, but he was wearing skinny shoes, right? But he was saying that they're big shoes, and the boys were trying to explain to him, no, it's a big size, but the shoes are slim, and he's refusing to acknowledge that. Me. I tend to like big shoes. Sometimes. I don't know.
Big as in like wide or like a like
a wide and or clunky shoe. Although I wear a lot of Converse, which is a slim shoe. I wear a lot of Converse, but my Nikes and things like that, I like kind of a clunky shoe also. I'm all over the map. It all really depends on the outfit. It all really depends on the outfit.
Yeah, it just depends on the pants, like the bottom that you wear, that kind of like certain, wide pants doesn't go with like skinny shoes.
Other than Converse. Like if you're wearing a big baggy jean, wide leg opening with a Converse, I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I think it's because the toes are like, big still.
Yeah.
Like the toe cap is round. And
it all depends. But like if I'm wearing like a skinny, like I can't wear like a skinny sports sneaker with a wide jean because I feel like that looks weird. Yeah. It looks weird. Okay. Devin Hurt says, any good pies over in the land of Japan? pies. Now, what do you mean by pies? Like American idea of pies, like fruit pies, like apple pie, cherry pie, that kind of thing? Or is it more of a English, like meat pies type of thing? The answer to both is that there's not a lot of pie in this country.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Either way.
There are good ones, but it's not abundant.
Yeah.
Like, not every grocery store has a pie selling at all times.
In Canada, there's a whole pie. There's a pie section. You want any kind of pie, they got it. Pecan pie.
I don't know. This is the abundance of pies. And it's like, who is buying a whole pie all of the time that you need it at your local grocery store?
Enough people. Pies are good. They're good to have.
Pies are good, but in Japan, like a lot of the pies are individual size. Like, when you go to McDonald's, you get the individual pie. Like, that's the idea of our pie, really.
Also, just so you guys know, in America, North America, the pies you get at McDonald's are baked. In Japan, they still fry them. So back in the day, McDonald's used to fry their pies, and so they'd be really crispy. Whereas in North America, they're much flakier.
Yeah, like a pie, a real pie, yeah.
And the Japanese way is like the old McDonald's way of frying the pies. They're very unhealthy, but they're different. So I would say, if you come to Japan, go to McDonald's, because that's what you're supposed to do, and try some of the local flavors, including the pies, because they're different.
And they have seasonal pies, or if it's like apple pie, I think it's always there, but if it's seasonal fruit pies and stuff. So it's fun.
Right. Pierre writes, "Are Wonder Looper mugs coming?" They're not in the works, but they're on the to-do list, so to speak. Dale writes, "Love the look of Vans, but too narrow for my Sasquatch feet." I never got into Vans personally. I know Reese has had a bunch of Vans, but I never. Really comfortable. Yeah, I owned like one pair once, and I wore them once or twice, and that was it. I
cannot wear those slip-ons.
Yeah.
They look so weird and like just too much like a slipper, like a room shoes for me.
I never got into them. BD writes, "Deep fried McDonald's pies equals worth the entire trip." BD, I hope you make it out here. I will treat you personally to several McDonald's pies. Okay, let's try something interesting, because we're talking about McDonald's, so we know we had to bring out the fanciest things for you.
This is the most boring.
This is fancy.
Or it could be the most interesting.
This is what millionaires drink.
This is Yamazaki no mizu. It is bihappo, so it's like slightly naturally sparkling, I think. Sparkling natural mineral water from Yamazaki.
Yeah. So the good people at Suntory, Yamazaki, you might have heard of the whiskeys.
Yes.
This is the water of whiskey, or the whiskey of water.
I would imagine the reason why they built the Yamazaki distillery in Yamazaki is because of the water, I think. Yeah. The quality of water. And so this is very appropriate that they make a bottle of mineral water.
I'm just gonna say, look at the quality of this bottle. I need to wipe it down. It's too misty, so you guys got to see just the beauty of this bottle, because it is look at this thing. It is a beautiful bottle, and
you want some water?
I don't remember how much we paid for this, but
it wasn't like 100 yen, but it also wasn't like 1,000 yen. So somewhere in between.
So between $1 and $10 we paid for this. So I would say the bottle alone is worth $1 at least. That's a beautiful glass bottle. Don't you think so, Snowy? I think you do. So sparkling mineral water for Bahzad instead of alcohol. That's true. Come on, son. Let's take a seat right here. Is it bubbly? We're gonna find out.
It's supposed to be slightly bubbly.
Yeah. So
what do you call this in English? Bihappo. Like little bubble?
Huh?
Like the small bubbles, like very.
I don't think we distinguish between small and large bubbles in our bubbly water.
Like in wine, like how do you explain that? Like,
with an oaky afterbirth.
Okay, anyways. All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Do you hear any carbonation?
Smells like water.
I don't hear any carbonation. Okay, that was up to the mic. Smells like water. Hold that up.
Oh, it's not so micro bubbly.
No, and it is definitely bubblier when you pour it.
Yeah, so, it's a lot bubblier than what I
look at that. No bubbles. And then...
That's usually how it works.
No, but a lot. That's a lot.
All right. It's a fancy
Does it have any sound?
Yes.
Okay.
Little bubbles.
Yeah, you hear it. Okay, let's cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Kind of has a lemony taste to it.
I think you're imagining it.
Am I imagining it? Or is it just the dancing bubbles on my tongue?
Maybe just dancing bubbles. I do like this.
It has a mineral. I guess that's the lemoniness. Maybe I feel is more like a citric acidy kind of. There's just something here that's a little twangy in it that I like.
According to this label, it is the taste is soft and very faintly sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. When we make our bubbles, in the drink mate.
Yeah.
So it's like a soda stream that we have. The bubbles are big.
Yes.
Like very rugged bubbles. Whereas this one's more like fancy bubbles.
Yeah, this is a luxurious treat here. It's very nice.
Yeah.
This is distinctly flavored. Like this has its own flavor profile. Like if you were to drink a bunch of different waters, I feel like this would have a very clear and distinct flavor profile that you could pick out. Like the number one water drink in America, Dasani. You could pick out a Dasani anytime. I hope you guys got the sarcasm in my tone.
I, for one, do not dislike Dasani.
I don't hate it like people hates it.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
Why are you so snobby about it?
Yeah, some people really find Dasani to be disgusting.
Yeah, and it's like there's no way it is disgusting. It's water.
Right, bingo. There's no way it's disgusting. But this is tasty. Also, if someone were to tell me it was flavored, I would believe it because I feel that there's a flavor to this.
It's difficult to tell the actual flavor when there's a bubbles. Like it adds to that, and that's part of it. So I don't know. I can't tell the taste of the water so different, but
yeah, people hate Dasani and the.
Why? What are you tasting in Dasani that I'm not getting? I don't know.
I do enjoy people ragging on it because I just think it's funny.
It's such a thing to do.
Everyone's like, oh, Dasani. I do not know. I mean, I guess everyone here thinks it's gross. So maybe that's how they got the reputation. Personally, no problem with it.
I also drink tap water, so.
Oh, I drink a lot of tap water.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. So maybe we're not fancy enough.
But as far as fancy water goes, the sparkling natural mineral water from Yamazaki, from the good people at the Suntory Corporation, makers of fine whiskeys and other beverages and such, also make a very beautiful spring water. And you're not going to find this in the convenience store. We found this at like a liquor store that like sold like, whiskeys and such.
I don't think it's widely distributed.
Right. So you might, if you're in Japan, you might have to go to a liquor store or something to find this. Something that's going to sell stuff or fancy grocery store.
Seijoishi
or
something.
So Voss is my favorite fancy water. Stephen Kopelcam writes, I remember learning about Voss when I was a young man. It might have been like between the ages of like 18 and 22.
That's when it came out.
It came out a while ago, and it came out in those big, tall bottles. Yeah. And
it still is in the tall bottle.
It was like a big one, like this. Is that how they still come? I feel like I see the little ones now, but like maybe, it came in a big bottle like this, and I was in Toronto, Queen Street somewhere, and it was like it was not a grocery store. It was like a home interior store, art store, whatever. And they had this water, and they had it on display, and it was like $10 Canadian a bottle. And I'm like, what on earth could be $10 for this bottle of water? And so I bought 2 bottles. I didn't have crazy money. I didn't, I worked, but that was a luxury expense. I had to find out what was going on with this water. Mm-hmm. And so I got it home, fridged it up real good, got it all cold, drank that water, and I'm like, it's fine. Like it's fine.
It's water. How good can it be?
Right. And I was like, at least I got these cool bottles out of it, and that way, if I fill it with water, people will think I have Voss water. So I kept the bottles around for a while. But yeah, that was one of my young frivolous purchases that I very distinctly remember, because I was like, that is a unnecessary purchase that I'm going to do. I just needed to know. Yeah. But this I would recommend. I will buy this again. I think this is a good product. I don't remember how much we spent on it. If it costs more than $5 a bottle, I probably won't buy it again. But I feel like it was expensive.
Yeah. Probably.
I'll find out.
That's probably why we bought it too.
Yeah, I had to find out.
We were curious.
And now we found out. Yeah. And it's good.
It's good.
Okay, you know what? Even if it's more than $5, I'll buy it again. I won't make it a habit.
Yeah, that's not the only water you're gonna drink.
No, I won't. When I'm rich, though, I'm gonna bathe in this.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
There we go. Arif says, super carbonated is the best. I do like a good carbonated water. Plain Topo Chico. Topo Chicos are nice. I also like that liquid death.
Yeah.
I think I just like the can more than anything else.
Yeah. The concept is good, though.
Yeah.
Everybody's going, non-alcoholic these days. So.
Yeah. So fancy water it is. Stephen Kolpakam, last comment of the stream. I'd always take the Voss bottle and make green Kool-Aid and pretend it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze. That mutagen bottle. It looks so cool with the metal on the ends. Great. All right, everybody. Let's call it a day.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for hanging out for another live stream for 2 hours. I always thought that this was going to be difficult to talk for 2 hours straight, but this went by.
No problem. Yeah. Easy. And we'll do it again next week. Same time, same channel. The Wonder Looper YouTube channel, bringing you the world's greatest live stream in the history of live streams. Mm-hmm. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't already. Mm-hmm. And have yourself a wonderful day, weekend, evening. Do something nice for yourselves and for somebody else. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Risa.
And we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Thanks very much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.